Hello, everybody, and welcome to Melody of the Maelstrom, where a bunch of real life bards play Dungeons and Dragons. Before we roll the starting titles, we do have a few sponsors we need to shout out. Thank you to our first sponsor, D&D Beyond. If you want to have all of your resources conveniently in one place and you hate math, look no further. D&D Beyond has all of the digital resources you could possibly need, including books, dice, and the ability to homebrew to your heart's content. Our next sponsor is FX May Vary, an awesome local band from Newmarket, Ontario, and we specialize in making sure you always have your daily prescription for hard rock. Feel free to listen to our music on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you are most comfortable listening to your favorite tunes. And feel free to follow us on Facebook for show dates and announcements. And as always, individual effects may vary. There is also our Patreon, where we have a tier for every level of generosity. One includes being shouted out at the end of this game, as well as all of the others, or voice acting lessons with one of the talented players in one of our other games. And of course, we have merch. Do you want a sweater, a shirt, or maybe even and I was doing so well, or maybe even a mouse pad with that awesome Dire Bear logo. And just dropped today, we now have 3 new pint glasses, of which I am probably going to be purchasing. So go ahead and check out our merch page where you can find whatever it is your heart desires. Now, let's get those title cards rolling. And welcome back. Last we left off, the party was continuing to investigate the mysterious murder of the Colonel. Fidget went off on a small adventure of his own, splitting the party, much to his excitement, and went to go investigate the fire that happened at a local tavern. After being entirely unable to find the smoke, he recruited the help of a local who managed to lead him to the tavern, where he figured out that the wards of the tavern had been deactivated, and someone had purposely started this fire. At the same time, the rest of the party went to go see the Archmage, where after a long conversation and a small amount of intimidation, you guys realized that he was under a magical oath where he could not talk about whatever it was you were asking about. So you then went to go see one of the dignitaries of the city, who essentially told you to back off and stay out of the investigation and allow the proper authorities to do what they need to do. And that is essentially where we left off. You guys spoke with Nyx for a moment or two and have made plans to all meet at the Boar and the Broad in order to figure out what it is to do next. Oh, also, I almost forgot. Somebody may or may not have admitted to being hired to kill a couple people. So that is actually where we left off last session. And so, Bavidius.
I believe the lore bomb was dropped upon
The
me,
lore bomb was dropped.
and I was given no opportunity to react at the time.
All right, so just for anybody who just so happened to miss it last week, Talon, could you please repeat what it was that you said to Bavidius?
Bavidius, I was hired to kill the Colonel and Nyx. I didn't do it, obviously, because that's not my style. What happened to the Colonel is not my MO or style. I prefer cleaner methods.
I reach out and grab him by the front of his shirt.
I pull my dagger.
I pull him close to me, ignoring the dagger, and say to him, "You are going to tell me everything that you know about who hired you, about why you might have been hired to do this, about how much money you were given, and what you were supposed to do after. And then I will decide what to do with you."
My bovine friend, I very much suggest you take your hands off me, or I will be forced to engage you.
I'll go between the two and separate them nicely.
I think if he's been honest enough about what he was in the city for, we can at least give him the respect of explaining a situation.
And recognizing, of course, the wisdom of Fidget's words, I release Talon, and I'll say, apologies for rushing to violence. As you can imagine, I am a frayed nerve. But please, speak your piece.
I don't know anything about the people who hired me. All that happened was I received a letter, and it would be payment upon completion.
There are ears everywhere. We should find a quieter place.
Obviously. All right, let's find somewhere with less ears, preferably before preferably before the sergeant arrives.
Indeed, I would like to have all of your words before she needs to hear any of them. And with that, I'll motion to continue towards the Poor and the Broad.
I will follow, putting my dagger away and silently wiping sweat from my brow. That's so
I'm taking the rear, and I'm keeping an eye on Talon.
Okay. Just gonna kind of take up the rear and make sure he doesn't make any sudden moves.
See if I can notice any symbols or markings that, might be part of a guild that I recognize, perhaps.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Absolutely. Oh, perception. My favorite, the one I have -1 to.
I remembered what you said last week. Or 2 weeks ago.
Rolled an 11.
11. So, Talon, do you visibly wear any symbols or anything of that nature?
No.
There you go.
I turn to Fidget. Notice. I'm gonna roll a perception to see if he's watching me. To notice.
Would it be
okay.
a contested roll? If I'm trying.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a sleight of hand check if you want to kind of just sort of be out of the corner of your eye, like pretending to like people watch and you're watching him instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
13 plus 6. 19.
24.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So you kind of turn around. You feel like there's eyes upon you, and you kind of turn around and just take a cursory glance, and doesn't seem like you have anybody's attention.
All right. I keep walking.
Okay. So, Brendel. As everybody makes their way to the Bora and the Broad, you have essentially been in the room with in the colonel's office, just studying your book and having very one-sided conversations. Can you go ahead and give me a perception check?
Oh, I can do that, of course. Hmm. Oh, that would be an 8.
Yikes.
8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so essentially you were sitting in the room, just entirely engrossed in your book.
Unless you wanted to go with my passive perception, which is double that. Which would be a 16.
I mean, yeah, I can let you use your passive if I'm feeling nice,
Okay.
potentially. Okay, so yeah, because you're not actively perceiving, so you're passive. Okay, all right. So you hear boot steps coming up the stairs and down the hallway.
I'll just continue on with my conversation with the corpse of the colonel.
Okay.
So I'm regaling her with the time of how I got stuck under a bear the first time. Which went something like this. No, you can go ahead.
She doesn't seem entirely interested, but
He's not disinterested?
she's not disinterested either.
Imagine being dead and having
It's
to
a
listen
pretty
to someone
neutral
else's
response,
stories.
really.
Right.
She's a bit of a captive audience.
Just dying to hear this story.
Oh, what a bunch of stiffs.
So
What a
you
while since I've been to
hear
a room this cold.
you hear somebody come into the room, and you can you turn around and you see that Nyx is standing in the doorway.
Hello, Sergeant.
Hi. Just wanted to let you know that there's probably going to be some other people who show up to investigate here pretty soon. So if you don't want to be involved, you should go.
Oh. So, is it sort of like the proper authorities are going to handle this?
In a sense, yes.
Well, that sounds like some crap. Do you happen to have like a safe house or anything?
No, I have my room in the barracks. That's about it. I
Hmm.
don't own any property or anything. I'm just a sergeant, so.
Do you know if your mother did?
Yeah, she had an apartment. I guess we could.
Well, it's just, as I said before, I want to have ask your mom a few questions, and with the whole let someone else deal with it, kind of makes me guess if I don't get to ask those questions now, probably never going to get to ask them.
Can you ask them now?
I'll still need a few hours. That's why I was asking if you had somewhere
We can't.
else we might be able to.
So you want to move her? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I know I'm asking a lot. But
We can't just take her from the crime scene.
well, I mean, you can't take it from the crime scene. I can.
She's not just a sack of potatoes, okay?
I never said she was. But I'm saying I would like to get some answers as to why she's like this now, other than, the gaping hole in her chest. But I want to know what she meant by protect the melody.
Well, if you can't ask them now, you might never get to. Not my choice.
Oh. That's all right, Shane. Oh, well, I hope I'll get to, but
as you two are talking, having this exchange, you can hear multiple sets of boots coming up the stairs.
Oh, well, guess I might need to take a hasty retreat here.
Yep.
Towards the window and fling myself out it.
it's you're 3 stories up. What?
Where are you cutting out?
I'm aware of this fact.
Okay. Everything's fine. It's good. We're good. Can you make me a dexterity save, please?
I saw the other guy do it. It shouldn't be that hard.
He was a monk.
Yes.
Oh no.
We'll make sure that it shouldn't be that hard. Will be written on your gravestone.
It shouldn't be that hard. Okay.
There goes the damn cleric.
What? I'm gonna be okay.
Well, you guys didn't really know he was a cleric anyways. He kept messing up his He's a paladin, right? No, he's
I swear, I gotta write all this down. I keep getting everybody mixed up.
So what did you roll?
I rolled a 7.
7. Okay, so you are going to take 9 points of force damage as you leap out of the already broken window and plummet 3 stories to the ground, and you land and you feel one of your knees like buckle in a very awkward direction, and like you can feel all of the tendons and the ligaments like hyperextend for a fraction of a second before they slide back into place. That sucked.
That was not my best idea. But I suppose I didn't ask Nix where everyone else was.
Nope, you didn't.
I'm gonna head back. I guess I'll head back to the what was it, the Boar and the Broad?
Yep.
And
Your favorite watering hole.
I will limp my way back.
Okay.
I'm just walking, going ow, ow, ow.
Okay.
Oh, that means we roll with disadvantage?
Party Bane. Interesting.
It means she gets to play out her most violent fantasy.
Don't.
Oh no.
Yes! Oh! Y'all get bad luck and I get good luck. Oh, yes! Okay.
Oh boy, I feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah, the next roll that anybody in the party makes is at disadvantage.
All right. Let's be strategic about what this roll is. I'm going to investigate my beer.
That's not fair. Wait a second.
What? You're the only person that can be innovative here? Come on. Cool.
Then I'm going to use my point of luck to make you screw it up. I don't know. You don't see the rohypnol in your beer, sucker. All right.
Oh jeez.
So you start making your way back towards the Boar and the Broad, where the rest of the party just happens to be arriving.
I guess if I see Rendell, I'll wave at him.
I'm sure he walks really fast. And you guys stop to have a conversation,
really
essentially. So yeah, he can catch up pretty easily.
I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of people in the way slowing us down.
Yep, all of them intoxicated. Like, you guys are probably moving at like half speed just because drunk people keep just kind of drunkenly swaying into your way. It's like, you can't walk in a straight line because there isn't one. And nobody else is walking in a straight line.
And yet somehow they're still remarkably good at avoiding getting too much in the way of the 7-foot tall man cow.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta go this way.
I'll wave Rendell and to join us as we go into the bar.
Limp my way over to the group.
What
You
happened
seem
to
to
you?
have sustained a wound.
Turns out I'm not immune to gravity.
Most people aren't.
Whatever gave you the idea that you were?
Well, I saw our other friend jump out the window and he made it look easy. So, what
Wasn't he
the
a
hell?
monk?
I can do it.
Didn't he also eat shit?
Not my
You
fault.
He
did
also
notice
fell
that
and took
we were never
damage.
able to find him again.
It was not my fault. He forgot how to play his class. I, on the other hand, was expecting that I would roll better, and I did not.
See, that's probably
Your
where the injury
words
came
are
from. He
very
didn't roll.
cryptic.
Yeah.
An attack or like a battle roll would have probably kept you from hurting your knee.
I only remember the first half of tuck and roll. I tucked, but I didn't roll. So it was
Oh,
more like a cannonball out the window.
Why did you jump out the window?
Well, Nix told me that if I didn't want to be like implicated in murder of the colonel, I should probably get out there. But as I was having a conversation with her, we heard some footsteps, and I took the quickest route down.
I see.
I see.
Did you have a look? So you didn't. There was no way to find out who was coming, huh?
No, I just heard footsteps, so I figured I said goodbye to Nix, and out I went.
Well, we have reason to believe there may be some collaborators involved in the murder. That
Well, that's what Nix has said. That she told me that it's going to be handled by someone else. So, I figured they're going to try and cover up.
Indeed.
But
Yes, Major
still-
Rembrandt would have been my last choice. Let me put that in as simple terms as possible.
I know a thing or two about authorities investigating situations. This isn't going to go anywhere.
well, I had
perhaps
asked.
we should find a secure room where we can discuss this in private.
good idea.
Indeed.
That's probably a good idea.
I'll walk up to the bar and I'll be like, I'll ask the bartender, do you have any private rooms where my friends and I could drink liberally?
you see the stool lift up and like hup, 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 and then sit down, and the halfling climbs up and he's like, "Oh, of course. I'm pretty sure we have one left, but it's a little bit on the pricier side, just because it is a private room." And he ducks as like a drunk person like goes over the bar and like. As you can see, it's pretty rambunctious in here at this point. So, you can most assuredly have the private room, but it's probably gonna cost you a few gold. So, would you like it?
How much gold?
It's about 5.
That will be fine.
Okay. You want me to put it on
And,
your tab, or?
Yes, the tab should be under the name Varicose.
Okay. Okay. It's just he's not gonna question it as long as he gets paid. He doesn't
Right.
really care.
Well, hopefully the Archmage is going to pay him.
Hopefully. In fear
and
of you
with that,
coming
I'll say-
back and intimidating him further, he will probably just pay
Right.
it.
It's my little petty revenge.
I'm
and
going
with
to
that, I'll
charge you $5.
with that, I'll say, please send the barmaid along with a cask of your finest ale, and if you happen to see a half orc in military uniform arrive, please send her to our room.
Okay, will do. It might have to wait a little bit on the barmaid though. I may or may not have had to send her home.
I will carry the
He's
cask.
drunk.
She was a little, yeah. If you just want to come behind the bar, and you can totally just grab again on your tab.
Yes.
It's not midnight yet.
Veritas.
They're not free yet, so
That is fine.
okay. Sounds good.
And come and I'll pick up the keg, and I'll
Okay.
turn to Fidget and I'll say, Fidget, could you make sure that there are flagons for the group?
Gotcha. I grab whatever glasses or
It gives you a
flagons are
bunch
available.
of beer glasses.
Cool. I'll join Bovidius as we go in the room. Just be like, oh, putting it on Varicos's tab. We should hit a couple more bars before the night's over.
Indeed, I aim to cost him at least a month.
There's nothing that quite says fuck this guy like timed that perfectly.
Fie and a pox upon it.
I
Also,
put my thumb at thee.
also why?
To be honest, I thought it was already in effect, and we had reset the timer a couple times already.
So
Oh my. It was from you, wasn't it, Oracle?
it's from another player of the Wednesday game.
We're foiled. Foiled!
It is fine. Everything is fine. We will just let this run out, and it is not a big deal.
No, Talon,
I'll get
specifically
you
no
next time,
curses.
He-Man.
So as you guys are going through the bar, you guys can see that everything is very rambunctious at this point. There are a large amount of inebriated people. And you can see that the innkeeper has brought in a bard who is like trying to keep the attention of everybody inside. And so everybody's like making a whole bunch of rambunctious noise and just having a very good drunken time as this bard just plays a bunch of music and tries to keep them entertained enough that they don't become rambunctious to the point where they will start breaking things.
Sorry, guys, I have to escape for a moment.
It's probably best we grab a room. This place is going to get rowdy.
Indeed. Whatever directions the innkeeper gave us, will swiftly make our way.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of trying to maneuver your way through the crowd, the bard, who is a small dwarf, leaps up onto a table. And he says, "Unfortunately, everyone, I do have to bid you adieu for the evening, because I would also like to partake in the celebration. But before we go, I will give you one more rowdy tune. Just a note that our dear tavern keeper has suggested that I don't sing anything particularly crass. But I am a bard." And so he starts strumming. Kyle's losing his mind because he knows what I'm doing. All right.
Sure, I know which song too.
Yeah. All right. So he pulls out his small guitar and starts to play. If I can find my pick. All right. If you don't place the stopper, if you don't place the stopper, after you pour a drink, if you tell a bard not to curse or swear, that's harder than you think. If you have a bag of folding that you choose not to share, can't play this. You choose not to share. Well, here's a message just for you from everyone everywhere. Piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Why don't you ever quit being a horrible person? I can play this on guitar. I'm just got really nervous and suddenly forgot how to play it. But the bard plays it very well.
I think the
Bard
bard
had a
can
nat
roll
20
based
on his
on that
performance
performance.
So everybody like starts cheering as the song starts playing, and like they join in for the chorus. They're all like, "Piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. Why don't you ever quit being a horrible person?" And so as you guys are just going through the interior of this bar, you can see the halfling bartender. He's like striding across the room, quickly trying to get this bar to stop singing. But everybody is just absolutely loving it. So he just launches into the second verse as as you guys do manage to make your way into the private room and close the door. And yes, I am aware that reset the timer multiple times, but it was worth it.
I kind of suspected what was going to happen as soon as I saw the guitar in warm up.
It's a shame I forgot how to play it.
One day. Oh,
If there's anything I'm really good at, it is not being able to perform under pressure. All right, so you guys are now in this private room. You guys can see that there's a just a circular wooden table surrounded by 10 or so chairs, and there's a small stained glass window which has the striking visage of a boar being like chased by a bunch of riders on horses. It appears to be like a interpretation of a hunt. And it's a very nice room. It's probably a pretty good room to play D&D in.
I'll turn to Rendell first, and I'll say to him, "Were you able to have any conversation with the late Colonel?"
Unfortunately, no. I'll still need a few more hours. I suggested to Nix that maybe we move the Colonel's body. But, unsurprisingly, she was not very keen on the idea.
Well, perhaps once you are ready, we can revisit that idea.
I mean, that is the hope, but if I haven't gotten to ask now before anyone else has gotten to her, I doubt I'm going to have access to her again.
It's always ways
Indeed.
into a building.
What ways would you recommend, Mr. Fidget?
Whichever doors or windows open, there's always a chimney. There's always a way in.
Well, I mean, there's a few broken windows.
I was more thinking wherever they keep the bodies.
Whenever Nix joins us, I will ensure that I ask her what has become of the Colonel. I would very much like to have this conversation.
I think we'll
Now,
have time.
we've all had a busy afternoon. Let us each pour a drink before we question Sir Talon.
I'm going to guess that I'll miss something. We're questioning him?
Yeah, you missed a bunch of somethings.
It
Well-
appears that our friend Mr. Talon was hired to perform the assassination of the late Colonel and of my dear friend Sergeant Nix.
Oh,
It would only be fitting and fair to invoke the ancient rites of hospitality by having purchased and presented these drinks to ensure that we have all partaken and that no violence may break out around this table.
Well said.
Do you agree, Sir Talon?
I do.
Splendid. And with that, I'll pour everybody a flagon and raise a toast. Later on, I'll see if I have points so that we can
I'm
do
not
this
there,
as a hydrate.
but
And now I'll turn to Talon as we all take our swigs of ale, and I'll say to him, "It is time for you to tell your story from the beginning."
Well, it all started when I was young.
Not that.
Oh, not that far back.
I was 100%
Too far.
expecting, well, I started as an egg.
I started as an
And then,
embryo. Then things lit up.
well, you see, when a man and a woman love each other.
Oh. No, this does pertain to the story. When I was younger, starting out in the Thieves Guild, I took a bad job, and it cost me a lot more than money could buy. So normally I wouldn't take a job like this, but I had all the angles. I'm from right here in the town. I was given a letter. It wasn't passed to me it was passed to me by a known associate. He said it was good. He said he had looked it over, he had done his research, and he told me all the angles. He said I may not even have to kill anyone. But it's an assassination, so all I really know is that I'm not the only one given the contract. Never is that way. Something this big, it was an absurd amount of money.
How much?
$50 platinum.
My word.
They wanted them dead. They wanted a message sent.
For a city guardsman.
Now, seeing your dear colonel, I understand the message that was to be sent. But there are ways around actually killing them. I've done it. Usually, if you bring back a trinket that belonged to the supposedly deceased, that would be good enough. And if you greased the wheels and paid the spies, no one would ever find out. And with that amount of money, I could have well paid the spies.
Indeed. Have you a copy of this letter?
I do. I pull it out from my cloak pocket, the pocket inside my cloak.
I reach out and spread it out on the table. Take a closer look at this thing. And I turn to all of my colleagues here and I say, have any of you any knowledge of calligraphy, of the unique art of penmanship?
Are you saying you can't read it?
I can read the words. I know not the significance of the hand in which it is written.
Watch and learn. Which
Disadvantage.
roll?
I
Disadvantage.
assume
That's fair. That's fair. Roll.
What did I have you roll last time? Poop. I think it was just a straight intelligence check. Because so the last one was an Arcana check because it was a rune, but this one is just writing. So this one's just going to be just flat intelligence.
Flat intelligence? Okay. I mean, am I not investigating it?
No, you're not really investigating, because investigating is you're trying to find something. You've already found it. You're now trying to determine further, essentially.
Okay, sure. No problem.
You just really want to roll investigation.
I don't want to waste that, like I did.
He's
He's like, I've got a plus million to it. So
A plus a million?
plus a million.
My first roll is a 19.
Okay.
My second roll is a 17.
Okay.
So either way,
Not bad.
So the regional dialect of the writing is from here. It's got that curve, like that swoop to the bottom of the G, and like the really aggressive crossing of the T, which you can really find here.
Upper class, lower class, are there certain like turns of phrase that would suggest a particular kind of socioeconomic background, that kind of thing?
So the thing that would suggest the socioeconomic background is the ridiculous amount of money. Because what our dear friend Tayland didn't mention was that it was 50 platinum per head.
Oh, Jesus.
Now,
We're free! We're free! Freedom! Sorry.
Good thing! 'Cause like, oh, Jesus is probably... Whew.
so
That was so... What?
oh!
that's all right. I can keep going.
It's okay, I got in between.
Just snuck it in there. Okay, so essentially there's it's really hard to see any particular turn of phrase or anything like that because it is a note with 2 names and an amount of money. And that is it.
Okay, so there's not a lot of like elaboration in the letter.
No, there's no like
Right.
directions or anything like that.
Understood.
You get a feeling that this is kind of one of those things where they purposely write less just so it'll be harder to implicate whoever it was.
Right.
It's like, is this G yours? I don't know.
Left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Cool.
What are the 2 names?
Oh, what was her last name?
Barracks?
Just had a brain fart. So one of them is Abrianna Ferris, and the other one is Nyx Ferris.
Okay. So father, daughter, and mother.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Bovidius, do you believe that this assassination was timed with your retirement? So you were out of the picture?
I have no reason to suspect that the assassins gave me any thought whatsoever. Though, I also have no reason to believe that they didn't.
Weren't you and the Master at Arms very close?
The Colonel and I, certainly we have worked together for many years. We were friends. However, as it has been made clear to you over the last several hours, I was clearly not close enough to understand any of the secrets over which she has been slain.
I may interject with I've had a suspicion as to who hired me for some time. Well, hired me and I'm going to say several of my cohorts who we may have to fight. I have no qualms about it. It's survival of the fittest when you're an assassin and a thief. But I have reason to believe. I have reason to believe, which, given her odd behavior tonight, that the magistrate may have something to do with this.
Oh, color me shocked.
Mhm.
Well, she wants us off the case, right?
Can I just point out something though? You said multiple different people have taken this contract, eh?
Well, with given the amount of money, why would they not hand it out to multiple people?
Okay. Well, then I'll have to say, why are we here and not with Nyx? Because her name's on the contract too.
It's an important
Yes.
point.
So,
Ovidius, what say you?
as much as this conversation is, I'm gonna head back to the barracks, and Randall's
And I
gonna get
will
up to walk
follow.
out the door. Well, limp out the door.
And I will follow.
Oh.
And I will follow.
All right, well, we got to stick together if there's assassins running around, especially if they're going to be surrounding Nyx at this time. So,
Indeed.
I assume there's a lock on this door. Is there a lock for this door, this room?
That might not be the best idea. I don't think that any good tavern owner would install a lock on a private room.
Yeah.
I think that's a terrible idea. That no. There's it's just a door handle. there's no lock.
We're just gonna we haven't left anything here but a cask of ale, and we're drinking on someone else's tab. So
If somebody else wants to enjoy it,
exactly, there's
just
more
walk
where
up to
that
somebody
came
and buy
from.
free ale in the room upstairs. to the left of
Varicose
the
has got us for the entire weekend.
Well, let's fetch Nyx and come back here as the safe house. How's that?
Indeed. To arms, everyone. Let us defend the sergeant, as we failed to defend the colonel.
Something tells me we don't have to defend her much. She's a bear. She turns into a bear, after all.
Well, let us
Look
hope
what she did to
that
poor
is enough.
Rendell. She fell over.
I mean, to be
He's
fair,
used to it.
wasn't a completely unpleasant experience. Just
Wait a minute. You've had what? You've had an experience where it was unpleasant? This was not unpleasant, but you've had an experience where it was unpleasant?
well, if I had a copper piece for every time a bear fell on me, I have 3 coppers, which isn't much, but it's odd that it keeps happening.
How are you allowed out of the house?
Perhaps
It's
we can
also- it's
discuss
also
that when
funnier.
the sergeant is safe and in our custody.
It's funnier because he's also a sailor.
Right?
So
Why
how
are
in
there
the
bears on the
heck?
boat?
What, are they sea bears? They jump up like
I was gonna
whales?
say it's one of those sea bears.
Yeah.
Deadly boat bears.
Just because I'm a sailor, I
Bears.
can't come onto land
It's a
every now and
dire
then.
bear. It's like a regular bear, but dire.
Can you imagine if there were bears that lived in the ocean? No.
That is
Can
very frightening.
now we have things to fight when we have to sail somewhere.
I'm totally gonna make
New ideas.
sea bears just so you guys can meet them.
They're mostly called polar bears, but
They're related to sea bass, but mixed with bears.
I'm imagining like a manatee, but with the top half as a bear.
Actually, speaking of which,
it's a bear.
random trivia. Do you know why they're called the Arctic and the Antarctic?
Because
No.
one means there is bears and one means there isn't bears.
Mm-hmm. The Arctic
Oh.
is the hemisphere with the bears, and the Antarctic is the hemisphere without the bears. That's
See,
how
I
they
like that
determine
so
that.
much now.
See, kids, the more you know. Tune in next week for more.
We have fun
We can
and learn.
Where you can learn random facts about ducks.
I refuse to have ducks or have them in a row. I prefer squirrels.
All ducks in this world speak abyssal because they are inherently evil. Anyways, you guys start making your rest way back to the barracks. making your way through the bar as the bard is doing yet another rendition of the most popular song currently in the bar. And I'm
We
not
do
doing
not
it.
pause to listen.
You're not doing it again.
Are you sure? It's
Quite
a
sure.
banger, guys. Like it's the most popular song, and
Maybe when we come back.
it's called "Message from the Universe." In case anybody wants to know.
Message from the universe.
Message from the universe. Okay, so you guys don't stop to listen.
Nope.
Just make your way out. And make your way very quickly back to the barracks. As you guys make your way up the stairs towards the colonel's office, can everybody go ahead and give me a perception check?
7.
21.
Alright. Natural 18.
23.
Just don't even bother with
Just don't tell me.
Bother with me.
It's fine.
You don't want to
I'm
know.
not
Oh,
sure.
we want to know.
Got a little bit of something stuck in my ear. Okay, so it wasn't particularly hard to hear. So everybody does hear the loud conversation that is coming from the end of the hallway, where there appears to be a disagreement going on of some sort. You can hear Nyx's voice pretty clearly. And she's saying something along the lines of, "Listen, I didn't mean anything, okay? I just wanted to take one thing so that I could speak with my father. Is that too much to ask?" And you hear another voice. One that Bovidius recognizes and immediately detests. We're free! We're free!
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! Ah, good, because this conversation is going to be so fucking hard to have without being able to swear.
Well, the question's going to be, we're free, but for how
Nyx
long?
has got a potty mouth, so we're gonna have this conversation real fast. Okay, so you hear
piss
who
balls.
Bovidius knows to be Major Rembrandt, and he says, "You are accused of tampering with a crime scene and removing vital evidence. You will be placed under arrest." And you can hear Nyx, and she's, you can hear the edge of her tone begin to sharpen. And she says, "First of all, you know damn well I had nothing to do with this. And second of all, it is just a sending stone. What could you possibly need from a sending... Let go of me! What could you possibly need from a sending stone?" And the Major replies with, "That may very well have been the mode of the Colonel's last communication. And you were trying to remove it from the scene. Ergo, I have a feeling that you may be implicated a little more than you have suggested. So I am going to place you under arrest and you will be interrogated in due time. Do not resist." And then you begin to hear a struggle as Nyx does indeed begin to resist. So around probably this time, you guys do manage to come around the corner in the doorway. And you can see 3 individuals. One of them is Nyx. And the other is a half-giant. So a Goliath of an individual. And you can see that he is wearing the same armor that all of the military officials have, but it is just blown up to accommodate the vast size of his body. And he's got just a completely bald head, but this very large, black, bushy beard and mustache combo. The other individual who is currently standing across sort of from him, and they're both sort of boxing Nyx in, is this very spindly looking half-elf who's got just this gaunt-looking face, and he's basically just a skeleton with skin. He's got almost no musculature on him whatsoever. And he's currently making the mistake of grabbing Nyx by the wrist.
Which one is Rembrandt? Please tell me it's the half-elf.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
Major Rembrandt is the Goliath.
I thought so.
I wouldn't give a spindly half elf this big, deep, ridiculous voice.
I mean, fair.
Why not?
Um,
Throw everybody off.
So Nyx doesn't turn to look at the half elf behind her, and she says, "If you don't remove your hand, I will fucking do it for you. Let go." So the half elf is beginning to take out a pair of like manacles, and anybody who takes a closer glance at it can see that they are a lot thicker than a normal pair of manacles. To probably adjust for Nyx's size. And so you guys all appear in the doorway as this conversation is sort of going on, and Major Rembrandt immediately looks at all of you, particularly you, Bovidius. What?
Major, we simply came to ensure that our friend Nyx was safe and remaining alive in these dangerous times. I hope we're not intruding on any urgent matters.
Major Nyx is currently being placed under arrest for tampering with a crime scene. But as you can see, she is very much alive.
Major Nyx, I was not aware that you had been promoted, my friend.
Oops. Sergeant Nyx.
Well, surely, Major Rembrandt.
I'm concentrating more on the voice
that
than
will
the
be-
words, okay?
Surely, Major Rembrandt, that will be the extent of your mix-ups during your investigation. Perhaps it would aid you to know that the sergeant here was also one of the targets on the assassination contract, and is unlikely to have been party to the assassination itself.
So, two things. As you say that Nyx is also party to this assassination contract, she kind of looks at you like, wait, what? And, as Major Rembrandt kind of just turns and motions to the half-elf to continue what it was he was doing. And as he kind of puts the manacles on Nyx, the Major turns back to you and says she is still guilty of the crimes of tampering with a crime scene.
Surely you would not consider mourning one's parent to be tantamount to tampering. Surely even you can understand that grief can make fools of the best of us.
And you should know very well that someone in her position definitely knows better than to interfere with an investigation. I cannot simply let things slide because emotions have gotten the better of someone.
Indeed, and I certainly would not ask you to in other situations. However, we have just been, Nyx and the rest of us, to the magistrate's home, where she granted a blanket amnesty to our dear sergeant here for any emotional outbursts prior to that meeting, and surely any tampering that took place would be covered by that.
How long ago was this meeting?
10, 15 minutes?
Interesting, as it was not less than 5 minutes ago that we came in and saw that she was trying to take something. So as poignant as your argument may be, she is still under arrest. Now, I am sure you are aware that you have been instructed to not get in my way.
Certainly, we have no intention of being in your way. We simply wanted to ensure the safety of our friend.
Then consider this to be protective custody.
I look past him towards Nyx and do the Minotaur wink at her. And
Dear Lord, this is embarrassing.
and I'll turn back to Rembrandt and say,
Am I doing
He
it?
literally looks like the laughing
Right.
cow on those
Yeah.
cheese
He's
packages.
just he just looks like he's having a full body seizure just in his face.
I'll turn back to Rembrandt and say, I'll turn back to Rembrandt and I'll say, the quality of your protection and strength of your custody remain to be determined. However, I shall not impair you from enacting your petty grudges at this time.
You speak very boldly, sir.
Indeed. And with that, I'll turn and I'll gesture to my group. Come, friends. Clearly, the sergeant is in safe hands.
Man, what an ass.
He said he didn't like him.
Seriously,
I will-
we'll just
Now you know
just gonna leave
why.
I'll turn.
I will step outside the doorway, and then I will say Venti Diaboli and detect evil
Okay.
towards the room.
So you get like a stank kind of body odor, sort of smell. Like somebody thinks that Axe body spray counts as a shower.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
they're really evil.
I don't
So
I
know.
mean, I
it's-
knew they were army, but still.
It's not
What's wrong with that though?
evil, but it's so detect evil and good comes out like as a smell,
Oh, okay, cool.
right? So if it's
I
a
meant more
bad
what's wrong
smell-
with using Axe instead of having a shower.
Oh.
You don't know you're part of the problem.
Soap is a thing, okay?
Dr. Squatch, look it up.
Yeah. Oh, dude, literally just used it. Love that stuff.
This show is sponsored by This is what I get
We
for
should
being
get on
these
that.
guys.
Oh, I'll endorse that shit for free. It's great.
I've been thinking about it. I'll have to
Pretty
check it
much.
out.
Where entirely was I? Oh heck yeah!
Somebody likes you.
Somebody likes me. I feel
They
so
really
popular.
like you.
They really like me.
Damn it,
All right.
Cody!
I don't think it was
Cody, get off the
Cody.
stream.
I'm sure it wasn't Cody.
He would give me a bane, knowing Cody.
End this game real quick.
So everybody knows Cody is my husband and I love him dearly. But he would definitely be like, your fate is in my hands. Okay, so as you guys start to move away from the doorway, the half-elf manages to clip the manacles around Nyx's wrists. Before she turns to him, arches an eyebrow, and then you can see her body begin to shrink as her ears kind of shift up to the top of her head and fur begins to sprout from her body as
boy.
she turns into a cat. And both of them kind of stand there looking at her, sort of flabbergasted for a second. Before she, in her little cat form, she's a little orange tabby with those black tattoo markings that are kind of in the tabby pattern. And she kind of winds between the half-elf's legs for a second, and he looks down at her, confused. Before she immediately shifts back into her half-orc form, using the upwards momentum to drive her fist as hard as she fucking can up between his legs.
Oh, that hurt me just looking at it.
So you hear, it's like an E sharp. It's like, just falls like prone, clutching his crown jewels.
Sure, you
Before before she whirls on the major, who immediately just grabs her by the arm, and she doesn't do anything further. She just kind of immediately gives up.
I'm gonna take advantage of the chaos and
Okay.
roll sleight of hand to try and take the key to the manacle.
Okay. So you're gonna dart. Yep. Good band, by the way. Oh.
Woo!
Splendid.
Okay. Okay.
Am I
okay,
allowed
okay,
to defer, or should I would like this to be a party decision since the party gets one. So should we use the advantage now, or should we wait?
The boon doesn't strictly have to just be advantage, right? Can
No,
be
it doesn't have
anything
to.
that
It can
Charlotte
be anything that
deems to
Charlotte
give us.
decides.
Okay.
Like, if you recall correctly, the last time I used the boon to give you guys one free accidentally accidental swear slip up. Say that 10 times fast,
Yeah.
and then realize why I couldn't say it. Accidental slip. As the half elf falls prone and Nyx just immediately surrenders, and you guys are considering what it is that you were going to do in that split second, that is actually where we're going to go for break. Seems like a good time.
Is reasonable.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So where we left off before the break was Nyx may or may not have caused a small amount of chaos to ensue in her mother's former office, and the party was just wondering as to how they would take advantage of that. Also, I have decided that your party boon is, you all can decide as a group who gets to benefit from this. But you guys can choose which roll tonight. You get one roll that is just an automatic success.
I'm gonna say save that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's sit on that.
We have had a surprisingly relaxed couple sessions lately, so I have a feeling something's gonna bite us in the ass.
I think something big is coming tonight. So let's make sure we succeed on some part of it.
Yeah.
What?
And we're on the second half.
Now.
Save
Now.
time. All right, so I'm gonna roll sleight of hand to see if I can steal that key.
Okay, so first you're gonna have to roll sort of stealth to see if you can get into the room without anybody noticing.
Word up. Okay. That's a 10.
And I get a point of luck.
Oh, I get bonuses. He's half giant and I'm a gnome, right?
You don't get bonuses to your stealth. You can move through his space.
Okay.
But you do not get bonuses. So I get to roll with advantage because I'm using my point of luck, which is great because that was a 3. So perception is coming in at a 17.
He saw me.
So he sees you.
But
Looks at you like, what are you doing?
And
That
so
sounds
he
good.
sees you, and you see that he sees you.
Hey,
So I will also give you the chance to immediately be like, I just tripped. I'm just, I wasn't tampering with the crime scene or anything like that. It's just...
I just thought I saw something. Ground.
Wanted a
Fidget
better
the
luck.
fearless.
Sorry, what was that, Bovides? Yeah, he's calling me. I gotta go.
So this Goliath, like, multiple times, like he is many times taller than you. You would have to stack up like 10 of you to be his height. And he just looks directly down at you and glowers at you. And just says with his face, fuck off.
And I promptly fuck off.
And you're like, yep, I will do that. You don't gotta tell me at all, other than with your face. So this is fine. Have a good evening.
So while
Well,
he's distracting Rembrandt, I'll kill him.
I will assassinate his ass.
Joking, of course.
I mean, you get one auto success, so
Can I roll the murder?
you sort of kind of
Right?
could, I guess.
Could I roll to one-shot Rembrandt?
No, but you can roll to hit him.
Van Gogh sends his regards. But no, I do not feel like committing murder in the middle of the barracks right now.
I think that, you know, the obvious solution to getting kicked out of the murder investigation is to just create a new one.
That's actually a really good point.
It's like, well, we can't be part of this one, but
It
we are
kind of
heavily implicated in the next one.
One of these people I kill, I'm going to
being
get to
said,
investigate.
that
them.
is just standard policing in the real world, so you
That's-
have a point.
Very true. Very true.
But no, I'm just going to kind of tuck a paw on Fidget's shoulder and be like, "It's okay, you try."
Never
I'm
yet.
imagining he's sulking a little bit right now. Just kicking his little feet.
I believe the last thing I suggested to the party was that we let Nyx be protectively custodianed
Yeah.
by.
So as
these
you guys
fuckers.
walking away, you can still hear the high pitched like of the half elf,
Oh, that had to hurt.
I couldn't care less about that dude.
Just be glad it wasn't your other head.
I'll turn down to Talon and I'll be like, "Are you a very sneaky fellow?"
I can be if I really want to. What do you propose?
I would like you, from a distance, to keep an eye on what they do with Nyx.
It would be my pleasure.
Once they have
It's like,
put her in custody, wherever they plan to keep her, let us know where they have put her, so that we can break her out.
Okay. Very good.
You quick thing about that. She has a target on her back. Someone killed the colonel in the barracks. You think whoever's going to go after Nyx is going to be stopped by a few guards?
Precisely why I want to ensure that we break her out of the barracks as quickly as possible.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, what if she doesn't even make it to where they're going to be protecting her?
well,
I narrow my eyes at Rendell and I'm like,
we can't all tail her. It'll be too obvious.
What if Fidget and I do it? Because I can give him advantage on stealth, can I not?
No.
No?
Unless you have pass without a trace, but then that doesn't give you advantage, it just gives you a +10.
which is better than advantage a lot of the time.
Unless you roll a 2.
Hey. But no, I'll say yes. The two of you should trail them directly. The rest of us should position ourselves in likely areas where we can ensure that assassins are spotted before they can pounce.
The thing about my cohorts, if they don't want you to see them,
I'll do
you
you one
won't.
better. And my little origami guy comes out, crawls down, crawls up on Bovidius' shoulder. You talk to him, you talk to me.
So
Excellent.
cool.
I'll turn and I'll say to him, testing, 1, 2.
Is this thing on?
1, 2.
Testing, testicles.
Testing, mic check.
Test.
You hear that okay?
You're right front.
Well,
Yeah.
Fucking next to me. Of course I can hear that.
Excellent.
Let's try it in a bit when I'm gone.
Will do.
It's like
Apologies.
testing
I'm
the
not
walkie-talkies
particularly well
for you.
versed in this magic stuff.
Get a little bit of feedback, like, oh god, wait, you're too close. Jesus. I'm now imagining he also like grabs the origami thing, like holds it up to his mouth so he can talk into it. Its little legs are frantically wiggling around. Like, this is not what I was designed for. Put me down.
No. I'm actually quite content to let it
He just
there like a little
bends
bird.
one of the legs a little bit, and now it's like.
Wow, the stereotypes that minotaurs have to deal with in society.
you just hear a tiny little help me.
No. I am letting the cute little origami homunculus just perch on my shoulder, unperturbed, and I am looking forward to speaking with Fidget through it.
He just looks over and just like, call me Mr. B. Sorry. Too far.
So anyways, I will say to Fidget, a splendid idea, sir. If there is even the slightest hint of danger, let us know, and we shall immediately make our way.
The code word will be "I'll scream." And I just walk away.
That is an excellent code
word will be
difficult to miss.
The safe word is stop.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
I think any of the jokes I would make about that one are NSF Twitch.
Probably. So don't-
I'm just gonna say to Fidget, yes, excellent. That will be difficult to miss. and I'll turn to Domino and Rendell, and I'll say, let us wait for them at the nearest. Well, let's go outside the barracks and figure out where to squat.
Well, I have one last thing I would like to try. And then I will go, Your Eminence, Major Rembrandt. Due to the delicate nature of this situation and our dire concern for our friend, Sergeant Nix, would it be possible to post an early bail so that we may care for her protection, and we be rest assured we would deliver her when there was due time for her trial, questioning, processing. We would just like to post early bail so we could ensure her safety through the night, because she was on the assassination sheet.
Interesting.
It's fucking smart. Why didn't I think of that?
Very well. If you have the 500 gold bail, I will turn her over to you.
All right, now we have.
Let me consult with
Hold
the
Wait,
rest
hold
of
on
my
one
men.
second. Sorry, I have new charges coming in. She is also being charged with assault. The bail has just gone up to 750.
Okay.
What?
He's
Let's
a dick.
Let me consult with my companions. I will be right back with you.
I'm gonna lean into Bovidius after hearing this and be like, if something should happen to him, would you be overly upset?
I believe the word
He would be
you're
very
looking
amused.
for would be overjoyed.
Just checking.
Before we start negotiating, I'm poor.
We're all poor, sir.
Awesome.
Define poor.
But this is it. This is what I got.
So you're saying that you did not roll the amount of starting gold for this campaign?
I can't force you to roll for money.
You cannot do that. I will. I'll go up to Sir Domino and I'll say, well, I have 200 gold pieces to my name. What have you on your person?
19.
I thought fast.
We
that's
got
two
this,
of us.
guys.
We're close.
Rendell, what
So
have
What
you?
is this?
I have 145.
Okay.
Talon, do you have that 50 platinum you were talking about?
I was not paid in advance, but I
believe
do
we
have
can-
money from other jobs.
Oh, I have an idea.
How much?
We could make 50 platinum right now. There's Nix.
Jesus Christ!
Okay.
Do you
I'm
say
sorry.
that in front of
Wait a
her?
minute.
I'm just
Where-
joking.
No,
yeah,
I'm pretty
wait,
sure
hold
we're
on.
a little down the hall right now.
I
Is
don't
there a
know.
sense
Domino
motive?
was
I'm
talking
joking.
to.
No,
Domino
no,
was
because
talking
we
to
were down the
Major.
hall. He went back,
Okay.
and then he
I
came
know.
back
I
to us.
know. I'm gonna roll perception.
I
I'm
got
gonna roll
the
again.
I got the little homunculus. I can whisper. I'm like an army ranger. I got the little thing. I'm like,
um, So how much total do we have? 200, 145,
We have
19,
364.
literally nothing. Who bollocks? Hmm.
You
What
said,
about
you
what
said that
about Nyx?
with the amount of money involved, that the magistrate could have orchestrated something like this. Yeah,
Indeed.
and
But I wasn't paid. I have not been paid for this contract.
no, you have
I
not
have
been
other
paid.
contracts I've been paid for, but the money is not here.
However, who did when you guys saw the magistrate, who did they put in charge of this?
Well, Major Rembrandt himself.
Yeah.
So the potential for the magistrate to be behind this, and she just happens to put her own person in charge of it.
Absolutely.
What
What?
what do I know specifically about Major Rembrandt and his allegiances?
You know that he was the next to be promoted. So when the colonel did step down, he was the next in line, essentially. But you also know that he's pretty heavy-handed and makes pretty rash decisions.
So not
He does not strike me as a likely assassin, though that deathly-looking elf.
Have you ever seen that elf here before?
Have I ever seen that elf here before?
Yeah, that's
Well,
uh
books. That's Elfie McElverson.
that's Corporal Timber. And essentially he's the major's he's your turmeric. Or
Oh no.
he's the turmeric to Major Rembrandt.
Yes, that's Corporal Timber. Him I wouldn't put it past.
Well, Major Rembrandt stands to benefit the most out of this because then he becomes the head of the town watch, or he becomes the colonel.
he's already becoming
And
the colonel.
right, right.
Indeed, Colonel he shall be before the end of the week.
But all of that happens at the magistrate's order. So the magistrate has to have something to benefit.
And it might interest you to know that he's evil. I detected evil on him. So I thought this was a benevolent city. It's about to become under the rule of evil military colonel.
Hold on. How does this spell work?
Right then, so I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not leaving Nyx.
Indeed,
We need
I'm
more money.
growing more and more disinclined to leave Nyx.
And for what it's worth, I have a pretty good hiding place that we'll be able to get out of the city.
So what
say
you're
again?
saying is we kill him and run.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be killing him, but we could
I
incapacitate
would
him.
greatly
But
like
if he happens to die, I'm not opposed to the idea. He seems like a bit of a ponce.
a
Listen,
vote. All in favor of killing him.
We can't kill him.
Now hold on. I'm always in favor of killing the city guardsmen. However,
Can't kill him.
however,
Okay, that's one opposed. That's two in favor.
we can't leave a trail. I can't think of a
Indeed.
worse person to murder in this city than the guy who's in charge of the investigation of the person who just got murdered.
Well, if we exhausted the bail, are we not able to put the bail together?
Can't afford.
Who else
We
is?
could attempt to
so-
persuade him to take less. It's not really a bail, it's a bribe.
What about
He has no
Nyx? Does
authority
Nyx can
Charge bail.
ask Nyx if she can provide towards this? We're close.
Pay her own bribe.
I'll stick my head through the door and be like, Nix, do you have any money?
On me?
Or close at hand?
Sure.
Roughly, how much?
How much do you need?
Um,
Can I attempt to persuade
386.
less than the 750 that he's already demanded?
So you need a further 386 gold to get
Yes.
to 750.
For your
Yeah.
bail.
Okay.
I
I don't
mean,
have it on me, but I can definitely cover that.
We'll see. There it's set.
So,
Honorable
we'll give you half
Major.
now and half as soon as we return from
You can
whatever
give
Nix has stored
all
his
of it
gold.
to me now.
Her gold.
So Nyx turns to him and she says, "Can I tell them where to look?" And he just he's got his big honking hand on her around her bicep to keep her from going anywhere. And he kind of lets her go and gives her a shove at the same time, and she stumbles a little bit. And you can see that she tenses up and she's just internally don't. Before she goes over to Ubavidius and whispers directions as to where to find her gold, which is in her footlocker under the secret panel.
Where's the secret pedal?
It's in the bottom. It's got a false bottom under the fucking... Have you never hid anything in your footlocker?
Oh, that secret panel. The footlocker secret panel. I
No
thought you meant
shit,
the
Sherlock.
footlocker was in a secret panel.
No, it's not in a secret... It's a footlocker. How the fuck do you...
I didn't really use the footlocker. I don't have
Well,
that.
obviously, you
stuff.
spoiled brat. Fucking
I
shit.
don't have feet.
What do you mean, spoiled brat? I came to the military to learn swordsmanship.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
probably
need
got a
any
whole
other
closet or something.
stuff.
Fucking just go. Just...
Right. And I'll turn to everybody else and I'll be like, wait here. And I will run to wherever her footlocker is, because I'm sure I
Okay.
know where it is.
So you do just so happen to know where her room is in the barracks. And you get to the door and it is locked.
Boom.
Just hip check it open. Bow.
No, I mean, honestly, I am not slowing down for doors.
Okay, roll me a strength check.
I hope you bounce off this door like you did the last one. That'll be
Can
cool.
I have 11 for the running, or an advantage for the running start?
No.
Okay, well, it's
You are
11.
strong.
Can we use our party boon thing?
If you choose to.
We could make it an automatic success.
No,
You
we
can.
really don't need to do that.
Yeah, I feel like we should
So
save
with an 11 plus your bonus, what does that give you?
No, that is including the +4.
Oh, that is
It's 11.
including the... Oh, yeah. So you are again stopped dead in your tracks by a rather sturdy door.
Having bounced off it, can I try it one more time?
You certainly can.
Okay. That's 12.
Man, the doors in this city, I want to meet the
Damn
guy who
door.
builds these doors.
These doors are robust.
I want to find the person who makes these doors, and they're gonna make a suit of armor for me.
He does a damn good job.
Right?
This is fine craftsmanship.
I'm literally,
Yo,
I'm
Judge,
literally going to attempt to split the door in twain with my great sword.
Go for it.
That's a crit.
Natural 20.
There we go. All right. So after bouncing off of it a few times and giving it an angry kick, you're like, fuck this shit. You grab your sword and just slice through it easily, like a knife passing through warm butter. Your sword easily just cleaves through the door, and you go into the room, and you see a pretty familiar sight. You can see Nyx's bed, and she has a bookcase and a footlocker. The entire interior of her room seems to have been overturned. So the mattress and all of the Everything that was on the bed the mattress has just been thrown over, and you can see that there are large slashes where all of the interior stuffing is starting to come out. The window is broken, and you can see the drapes slowly billowing as the wind just kind of gently pushes them. The footlocker is open, and all of the clothes and the boots and the extra set of armor and everything that belongs to Nyx has just been like spread about the room.
I'll go to the secret panel
Okay.
and see if it's been forced.
So you feel around the bottom, and to the back right corner, there is a spot, in the floor that just like you can work your finger under it and you can pull up, a loose floorboard. It doesn't appear to have been discovered, and as you lift it, you can find a small bag of gold.
I'll grab it. I'll take another quick glance and see if anything particularly significant sticks out to me.
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, fine.
And watch as
That's
Fidget gets mad
18.
because he doesn't get to roll it.
That's an 18 with a plus
From here
0.
on out, every time you say roll an investigation check and it's not directed at me, I'm gonna get mad.
Sorry? Question
Yeah,
mark?
okay.
Okay, so, you don't, like, nothing really stands out to you as having, like, as being missing.
I'll snort in frustration and rip back upstairs with the gold. And I'll put my 200 and Rendell's 154 or whatever it was,
45.
and 145, and we'll put everything together, and I'll give Rembrandt 750 gold.
Okay. He closes his fist around the large amount of gold. He has again grabbed Nyx by the bicep to make sure that she's not going anywhere, before he just lets her go. I suggest you do not interfere further.
Last I checked, we were helping you save face. We shall ensure that we do not get in your way. And with that, I'll gesture to Nyx and hurriedly usher everybody away from that fucking asshole.
Thank you for your time, Major Rembrandt.
No, don't
Shit.
thank him. Don't
Don't thank him. Get him.
Ignore We do not talk to him. We don't like him. We stay away from him.
You're a petty cow.
I am a petty cow. I'm just learning that tonight, but I'm a petty cow.
We should call you
All right,
Carrot.
back to the safe house.
Indeed. As soon as we get to the bottom of the stairs, though, I want to turn to Nyx and I'll say, so, we might want to stop by your room before we go.
Okay. Why?
You know how your mother's office was kind of turned upside down?
Yes.
Well, it's a bit of a miracle they didn't find your gold.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
We need to know if they've taken anything of significance from your room.
Even of insignificance.
Even
Okay.
insignificance. It could be a clue.
Okay. She follows you towards her room. And as
Give
she
the door.
you can just see the two pieces of the door, just like one of them is still hanging off the hinges, the other one's just laying on the ground. And she
It
kind
was
of
not behaving.
Wouldn't it
Oh,
suck
wow.
to find out it was a pull door?
she kind of steps through it. She's like, yeah, I guess I could have given you my key.
Why do I
That-
feel like the major would have charged extra?
I mean, he had a key.
He is a
Obviously.
dick like that. Okay, and she starts like going through all of her stuff. And after about 5 minutes or so, she kind of turns back to you guys and she says, "It kind of seems like a mess. It doesn't seem like there's anything missing."
What were they looking for? Is my question.
You.
Yeah, about that. You all said that I was to be assassinated with my mother.
Yes.
We found evidence of the contract, which had your name next to hers.
Let's discuss this at the safe house. The barracks is not a safe place for us right now.
Finally, this guy's making sense.
To be very fair, nowhere is safe for us right now.
The safest place is our room at the inn. Let us retire there, and we will fill you in.
Quickly.
Well,
Before the barracks are surrounded.
Yeah. An army of assassins!
Who would do that?
You!
Not
I
that
could
we
get
were
us-
afraid. You're so just and kind.
I could get us to a safer place and out of the city, if you all want.
I
If
don't
we
know about
flee
leaving
the city,
yet.
they'll just send people after us.
As much as,
If we
much as
stay,
I
they're
would
gonna
not
send
miss
people
the
after us.
Major, I would be loath to harm anyone he would send after us.
There's already too much of the city that we haven't seen yet. Everything points to this place.
Let us return to the inn. We can digest our situation from there. Hey!
Thank you.
Okay.
I gotta grab water.
Can't see me, but I'm hydrating.
It's definitely a honor system for everybody who doesn't have a camera on right now. I better hear glugging.
So many jokes to be made.
Don't.
Don't worry, I know the rules.
Tisk, tisk.
Listen, okay? I don't think about the words that come out of my mouth. They just.
We can
bleh.
tell.
It's like the old joke where it's like, what did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
Oh my god, that is an all-time classic.
Okay, on that note,
Now that we're back at the Boar and the Broad, which is
yes.
somehow very topical.
Okay, so you guys make your way in, and it is now getting around 10:30, 11 in the evening. And you can see that the halfling bartender is kind of going around now with that that recovery drink that he served to you previously, and he's kind of like handing out quite a bit of it to just random various individuals in the bar. There you go. Here, drink this. It's on the house. Here, please don't throw it. Ah, okay. Drink it anyways. Oh, hello. I kept your room for you. I just you guys paid for the evening, so it didn't seem fair to rent it out to anybody else.
Good, we're on our way back there now.
Okay. If there's anything that you need, just let me know. I will get to it eventually. Pretty
I'll be right
busy. Okay. So you guys all make your way into the private room that you had before. Your cask of ale is still there, but A little bit lighter than it was before. No reason.
Somebody's
so-
in here.
So Nyx is kind of gonna just go to one of the chairs and just grab it by the back and sit.
All right. Does anybody have any spikes? I feel like we should spike the door just to play it safe. Or a dagger, maybe we could shove in there.
I hand him one of my daggers.
Or I'll gently pound it into the door to wedge it a little bit.
Okay.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna walk over and
One of the doors we've encountered tonight, this one will probably be pretty sturdy.
Well, I mean, if the doors in
Ow.
this city can stand
All
up
of the
to
doors
minutes-
are impeccably made, so you know that somebody's gonna have a shit time getting in here.
Moo. I will.
By the way, you locked Bavidius outside.
Um,
What are you talking about? I specifically
have a
said to the
question.
bartender
No,
I was coming
I
with.
know, I know.
I have a question. Is there a window in this room?
Yes, it is a stained glass one.
Nyx, I would suggest not sitting anywhere in the vicinity of that window. Not across from it, not in any vantage point of it. Sit against the wall near the door.
Okay. And she like gets up and grabs the back of the chair and like drags it slowly across the floor, and then like leans it up against the wall and sits. And then she kind of crosses her arms.
I grab
So-
a chair and drag it over and just sit down across from her.
One of you has 30 seconds to explain how you know about all of this.
I will do it. I'm from here. I'm part of the Thieves and Assassins Guild. Multiple contracts were sent out tonight for you and your mother. I pull the letter and I hand it to her. I was given one of these contracts, but I am not responsible for what happened to your mother.
Do you know who is? Is it one of your
We are
friends?
never given the names of our employers, but judging by the gaping wound, it could have been anybody in the guild.
We know the person that gave him the contact info.
That I can do something about.
So we have a
Hopefully.
lead.
We have
Is
reason
there-
to believe the Archmage might be behind this. And it
Magistrate-
seems that Major Rembrandt benefits most from your mother's passing.
Sir Domino, I would suggest.
Was it the Archmage or the Magistrate?
was the magistrate.
Sure, the magistrate
Arch-
and the
yes.
Archmage.
The Archmage is a fool.
The Archmage
He doesn't know
is-
half of what's going on in the city.
And
But he's a collaborator.
I don't think he is.
Not by choice.
You don't put a Gaius on somebody that's already willingly collaborating.
I would tend to agree. Or at the very least, perhaps he began as a willing collaborator
Perhaps.
and came to know too much and wished to participate too little.
I think the
We
first
have
thing
to
do-
find a way to get that Gaius off him.
I think the first thing we do is find your contact.
I think the first thing we do is lop off his arm.
That will not help. It's a magical spell. The mark would just appear somewhere else, would it not?
I suppose you might be right. I don't know much about magics.
I don't pretend to, but that just seems logical that a spell like that would have contingencies.
Depends on why it was cast and by who.
Well, my associate, my fence, his name is Gerard. He's a human, but he can be trusted.
Rare that a human can be trusted.
Loose lips and all. They get drunk and they blab.
Indeed. Would you like to invite him to partake of our ale this evening?
I'll have to go and find him, but I'm sure he can be persuaded. He's no lover of the law, but he's not. But even he felt uneasy about it, although he said it was sure money if I could find an angle worth taking.
We should be careful.
I will.
When he arrives here, he'll see Nyx.
Now, Nyx, I do have to add in that I did have a contingency to not kill either of you.
Well, that's good to know.
And please, when I do bring Gerard here, please do not intimidate him. He will wet himself. It's a horrid fact.
Maybe it's best that Nyx is not here when we bring him.
No,
I am loath to let Nyx away from our protection. However,
she is under our protection, and she deserves her answers. Any of which
I'm under the protection of someone who just so happened to have a contract to kill me? That makes me feel very good about this entire situation.
Nyx, you are under the protection of me, your friend.
And a sworn paladin. But I feel if the fence was to see Nyx, one of the people on the contract, there could be complications. So.
Oh, he's not stupid enough to betray me.
Surely he will understand
take your word.
that the complications would be our blades in his gullet.
No, it's very safe to say
he would also
him alive.
But then he would also have knowledge of where Nyx is, who her protectors are.
You do raise a point. Would one of you like to come and meet him with me? And maybe we can discuss business in the shadows, so to speak.
Fidget, does this seem like work for which you are equipped?
I guess. I mean, I'm the best suited.
Your paper friend here can call for help should you need it.
Yeah. I guess I'm the best guy. I was just.
All right, Fidget.
I came here to get drunk. This is not.
Well, we can get you. I can get you drunk at the Thieves Guild too.
I kind of feel like the buzz wouldn't be enjoyable anymore, but
it's a bad buzz. It's a hornet. It's
I'm
a bad
sorry,
buzz.
we've killed your buzz.
Aww.
Let's just do this. Before I go, though, I just put a hand on Nyx's arm. I look up at her and I just go.
Can you even reach her arm?
Yeah, of course. She's sitting down.
What? Yeah, but gnomes are smaller than halflings, aren't they?
I'll have like a moment here.
Yeah, just let him have his moment, man. You ruined his buzz.
I put a hand on her arm. I put a hand on her arm and I say, "I lost my parents when I was young too. It doesn't get better, but it gets a little easier." And then I go with Tail.
Okay. So as you two unwedge the dagger out of the door and start making your way towards where you know the Thieves Guild to be, Vividius, Nyx is gonna get up and close the door. And then she's going to turn to you. She's going to say, one of his friends killed my mom. And you're just gonna let him walk away?
Would you rather have his head, or the head of the one who held the blade?
I would rather have all of their heads.
He is our only path to finding them.
And we're not entirely sure it was one of his henchmen that performed the assassination.
Loath though I am to let him still draw breath, he is the only lead that we have at the moment. The moment that ceases to be the case, we can renegotiate his usefulness.
Ovidius is dark, dude.
Now, I have a question to ask.
Uh-huh.
Does the homunculus work both ways?
It does.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna look at Fidget and be like, "Can you still hear your homunculus?"
That being said, though, I don't know, obviously, that is transpiring. I don't even know that it's still listening. All I'm going to say is that I'm going to turn to her and say, for the moment, I have no reason to believe that he means you ill, that he meant you ill, or that he himself would have done you ill. I understand how difficult it is to see anything but foes in your situation. All I ask is that you allow me to help you discern the few friends you may still have.
Fine.
And it
When
may
that
comfort
time
you.
when that time comes, there will not be any negotiation.
Those who killed your mother and who sought your death shall meet the fate that is deserved. You
They
have
shall meet
my
justice.
word.
Justice will be performed. I pledge my sword to it. But it may also comfort you to know that Talon offered disinformation freely and offered to help us. So that should be at least a sign of goodwill.
If I had any reason to believe that he was a threat to your life, he would not be at this table, and he would not be partaking of drinks with us, let alone with you.
Well, in the very least, I trust you.
Any harm that would come to you must come to me first. You have my word that I will not forsake you.
I'm just gonna sit in the corner for a little bit, if that's okay. Just kind of process.
Absolutely. Here, have an ale. Watch the vantage points.
And as she just kind of sits there, just holding the ale, and you two make your way towards the Thieves Guild. That is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
That was eventful as fuck.
So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I almost forgot to just go into the end spiel. I was just like, "Aye, we're done." So thank you again to our sponsors D&D Beyond and Effects May Vary. Make sure you check out our Patreon and all of our merch, where we have 3 new pint glasses that are available for purchase. If you like this game or any of the others, feel free to check out Valley by Night, which is a Vampire the Masquerade game that takes place on Tuesdays. And
I gotta start watching that one.
yeah, it's a pretty cool game. And also, if you're interested in seeing a group of heathens that play Falskallen Knights, are mortal enemies, and they shall pay dearly for this evening. So if you would like to see another amazing game, Falskallen Knights takes place on Wednesdays, and then we have a Knight's Ransom that takes place on Thursdays. And there's also a new Saturday game in the works. If you would like to play in it, I think they're still doing auditions, so go ahead and check that out as well. There are 2 slots left, as the Oracle has just informed me. So thank you again for joining us tonight, and we are really happy to be part of this amazing group of games. And have a good evening.